Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another video. This time I figured this video is kind of long overdue. I always love doing ranking videos when more installments are out in a particular franchise that I've reviewed before or enjoy. And you know what? I figured since Shazam had been out for a while now, I did a review for Shazam, I really enjoyed it. I figured, why the hell not do a ranking for the entire DCEU. I wanted to watch the films again and give my honest opinion about each film and where they rank in my personal enjoyment. Now, these are not ranked by so much, well, these are ranked by quality as well as personal enjoyment. So, start off, my number one favorite DCEU film that I find the most enjoyable as of now after watching it is Shazam. Bottom line, Shazam. I just think the film is very heartwarming. It's well acted. It's just a lot of fun. It's probably not the best of the films. Wonder Woman may be slightly better, I don't know, but it's my personal favorite. It's just an awesome film, just very original, something at least new, refreshing. I mean, Wonder Woman was refreshing or new in a way for the fact that it was a female superhero, but at the end of the day, it's still a standard superhero film. I mean, there's really still nothing really different about it, but other than the fact it's a woman. But yeah, Shazam is just awesome. Just such a cool concept for a character that hasn't been done yet. My number two is Justice League. Now, I know a lot of people are split on Justice League. Hardcore Zack Snyder fans hate it because it's not Zack's true vision that he had in mind. And other people are just kind of mixed on it. Personally, I really enjoy the film. It felt to me like the logical step after the other films in the series, because it felt like the DCEU was starting dark and building up to becoming lighter, in my opinion, with how the ending of Batman vs. Superman was, of like how Superman was going to like find his place in the world and eventually become the Superman we know, and he does that here in Justice League, and I enjoyed Henry Cavill's performance. There are problems with the film. There's some really bad CGI, but that's not to kill a whole film. Yes, Superman's face looks terrible, but and the bad guy's weak. But other than that, seeing the whole cast of the Justice League together, I thought all the actors were well cast. They were all very enjoyable to see in a team, very enjoyable to watch, and their action scenes were fun. Yeah, they were more low key than stuff like the like second or third or fourth Avengers film, like Endgame. But this is the first Justice League film. They don't need to like shoot their whole wad in one movie. Yeah, so all in all, I thought Justice League was an awesome like throwback to the Super Friends. It's like a fun time. Number three is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman I find to be an awesome female-led flick. It doesn't shove like feminism in your face like a lot of other movies like try to do with a female lead, and that's why this film works so well. It doesn't patronize any of its audience, whether that be male or female, and that's why it was a success. And that's why it will continue to be a success, and that's why the sequel will probably work. What am I on? Number four, let's see what I got. Number four is Aquaman. Aquaman, another one that I thought was awesome, just like Wonder Woman and Shazam. I really enjoyed Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was a blast from start to finish. As you'll see, most of these DCEU films I've enjoyed. The reason why is because unlike the Marvel films, which go for really almost unanimously one particular tone in every movie, and I'm a huge fan of the Marvel films, not bashing them at all, but it's obvious that for the majority of the films, they go for more or less the same tone of lightheartedness, and that's fine. That's fine for those films. But what I like about the DCEU is each film feels different. That's the reason that I'm more lenient on the DCEU films when I grade them than the Marvel films, because I have to compare jokes in other Marvel films to how well the last film did it, because they're using a similar style comedy, because they're still being lighthearted. Each DCEU film, for better or worse, feels like a totally different film with a different director. So they just all bring something else. This feels like an underwater, undersea, like mystical adventure film, and I love that. The special effects were beautiful. It should have been nominated for Best Visual Effects. I have no idea why it wasn't. It was a travesty not to have been nominated. Number five. Let's see. Number five. Number five is Batman v Superman. Yes, the Ultimate Cut, which is the only cut that exists, in my opinion. The Ultimate Cut of Batman v Superman is a great blockbuster movie. Is it an awesome movie? Is it a masterpiece? In my opinion, no. Is it better than Captain America Civil War? In my opinion, no. But I've watched all these films again. After seeing it again, no. it is not better than Captain America Civil War. It is a great blockbuster flick. It has some weaknesses. Lex Luthor is occasionally a little bit too over the top. But as a whole, I like Jesse Eisenberg's performance in this. I like this new version of Lex Luthor. He brings something different to the table, kind of like a mad scientist Lex Luthor, like done as a modern age Mark Zuckerberg. And I thought he was fine. He's not great, but he's fine. All in all, this is a great, epic blockbuster film. They did try to stuff a little bit too much in, but by the end of the film, I found myself still enjoying it. So I had a great time with this film. Number 6 is Suicide Squad. Now, Suicide Squad is an interesting one because this film has a bad script. Very bad. But I enjoy all the performances. It's like, this movie, for me, watching it's like Batman Forever. You know how Batman Forever has a bad script, and if you see my review for it, I pointed out Batman Forever has a bad script, but Jim Carrey makes that film extremely fun. Even Tommy Lee Jones is fun in that. That film is just really enjoyable, eye candy to watch. Suicide Squad is the exact same way. I think it has some great visuals of Gotham City and everything. For part of the opening with Harley Quinn, the Joker. I like Jared Leto's version of the Joker. It's a totally new, different version of the Joker who's doing his own thing. He's not acting like Heath Ledger's Joker. He needs to be judged on his own merits for the version that he is. And I enjoyed this particular version. I've seen this similar type version in the comics before, like Frank Miller's one where he's got the big dragon tattoo, and in other comics where he has earrings and stuff as well. So the Joker, like, being more different than the normally established Joker has been done already. It's just the first time that we're seeing it in live action. That's what's throwing a lot of people. They're just not used to this aesthetic look for the character. They're just more used to the more grounded one, which Heath Ledger's Joker was a lot different look-wise as well, but he still kept the similar clown gimmick. This one feels more like a hardcore gangster type Joker, which I'm fine with. Yes, the movie has a bad script, but it was enjoyable fun. It was dumb fun, and I had a fun time with it. Is it a great movie? Actually, not really, but it's a great, fun flick. Man of Steel would be my number 7. Now, Man of Steel I go back and forth in this film so much from watching it. When I watched it for the first time, I thought it was good. Watching it the second time, I started thinking it was awesome because I thought, well, it's a reboot. Maybe I shouldn't compare it to the films that came before and judge it as its own thing. Watching it now, I feel like that's kind of a dishonest disservice because I feel like any reboot of a franchise should be compared to what came before and how well it does the material compared to what came before. Now, you shouldn't compare, like, specifically you shouldn't go into it saying, yeah, this is a darker version of Superman, so automatically it's wrong because it's not like the original. No, that's stupid, but you should compare like how well it does in the writing and stuff as compared to what came before. So all in all, Man of Steel is my least favorite of the bunch because I find it, upon rewatch, to be a 3-star good flick as compared to most of the others, which I found to be mostly either great or at least dumb fun like Suicide Squad. But Man of Steel, I find to just be a good flick. It's not bad. It's a good, solid movie. It's enjoyable. Most of the Superman films are misses. Like, Superman 1 is a classic. Superman 2, I do find a little bit overrated by people. I haven't seen the Richard Donner cut. I own it, but I haven't watched it yet. The theatrical cut, though, I only find good. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe if I see the Donner cut, I'll be blow my mind. But honestly, other than Terrence Stamp and Zod and all them being great villains, the film I just find to be good compared to the original Superman, which I think is a classic. Superman 3 sucks. Superman 4 sucks. Superman Returns, I used to dislike, but upon rewatch, it's like alright if you accept it for what it is. Like a kind of a reboot, loose sequel to the first two. Superman 4 sucks. Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Supergirl sucks, but it's more of a watchable suckiness. It's more of a fun campiness to it. Steel with Shaq sucks, big ones. So all in all, this is easily the 3rd best Superman flick. It's a good, solid Superman movie. Is it anything special? No. Is it one of the best comic book films ever made? No, not in my opinion, but it's a good, solid Superman movie. It's actually not that dark, really, if you watch it. It's just darker than what people are used to. Like, a lot of people who don't read the comics will only know Superman from the Christopher Reeve flicks, will just watch the movie and be like, oh my god, they made Superman so dark, when really, no, he's been kind of darker than that in the books. This is just darker than what you're used to. It really, at the end of the day, Man of Steel still feels like a standard Superman film, I mean, honestly. So, all in all, yeah, that's my ranking for the 7 DCEU films, and I thank you guys for watching.